Hello, everyone. It's William here from Allegory Gallery, and it has been a while since we have done one of these like this, an actual live at 5. We did some lives with you as we were on the road on our way to Providence, Rhode Island, where we attended the Snag conference. That's the Society of North American Goldsmiths. The name is a bit of a misnomer. It's not just for goldsmith or goldsmithing or goldsmiths. It's pretty much for anyone who makes jewelry out of something. So if you are not a member of Snag, you might want to check them out. It's a really great organization. And we had a great time. So we may do a recap at the end of this video. Andrew has another conference that he's in right now, a conference call. So he's not here with me right now. I'm at Star Cottage Studio because I wanted to come up here today and check out some things. But we were going to do a wrap up at the end of this of Snag, so we'll see if he makes it up here before then or not. If not, he might do it tomorrow, or we'll do it on Wednesday or some other day this week. But it was a really great conference. We had a great time, safe trip up and back. No major bad, anything, so that was good. The place we stayed was really nice. Had a great time. Met some amazing, jewelry artists and metalsmiths, and even more than metalsmiths, because it was literally some people making jewelry out of like vintage plastic, and some people were making jewelry out of all different kinds of things. So it was a really great time. And if you can attend a Snag conference, I really hope that you will think about doing so and joining as a member of Snag. It's really a great organization. The thing that struck me the most was how much they worked to be inclusive of everyone. There was an LGBTQIA plus BIPOC art exhibition that was virtually done, and they are working really hard to, be inclusive of everyone who wants to make and who wants to learn how to make and be a part of this organization. And they seem to work really hard to include everyone, no matter what background you come from, what, race, ethnicity, gender, sexuality. It's really it was amazing to see that. It was really amazing to see that. So it's an organization that, from seeing what we saw and what I saw there, I could definitely recommend joining if you are not a member already. So please check that out. They have a great magazine called Metalsmith that will come out 3 times a year. So if you sign up for that, you can check that out too. So we are back. It's been a whirlwind, though. It's been a whirlwind even getting here. I don't even have my lighting set up done here because we took it out, because one of the last things we did here before we left was have a photographer come in. So we had to remove our lighting system here. So if I'm a little dark here, I'm sorry. I don't have quite the same lights as I normally do, but we're gonna work through it here today. I was down at the store today working on some things. This is like kind of the first day jumping back into action. So it was nice to get away a little bit. It's never away completely. We still sent out some emails from up there and, did some social media and things and tried to get back to people as much as we could for questions on things. But we're jumping back into it wholeheartedly today. So I was down at the store working on a few things today. Then I came up here to check on a few things and do this live with all of you out there. So it's I'm a little scatterbrained today. I haven't quite collected myself. We got very used to, we didn't have a TV in the place where we stayed. Suzanne, yes, we are on YouTube. I have Norma tuning in from YouTube. There are a few people already tuning in from YouTube. So it's, there wasn't a TV there. So we would get in, some nights, anytime between 9 and probably midnight or so. And we would just get to the place and go right to bed. So we got kind of used to that, and it was kind of nice. So I'm trying to keep that schedule. Today, our cats, when we came back home yesterday, our cats were so happy to see us. And we were so happy to see them. Babette must have woken me up about, I don't know, at least 18 times this morning just to jump up and sit with me and purr with me up on the bed this morning. So I didn't get my normal, we went to bed about midnight last night after we got home and ate something and all that. And then I set the alarm for 8:30 a.m. That's the early, I never get up that early. That is super early for me. And that's kind of the time we've been getting up in Rhode Island to do everything that we were doing. So I said, okay, we can keep doing this. Let's keep going like this. And it didn't work because Babette had me up about 18 times throughout the night and I didn't really sleep very well. So I still got up a little later than I wanted to, but earlier than I normally do. So I'm going to try and keep on this schedule because I kind of like being able to get up early and work on some things before I have to be at the store. So, and I don't tend to work on things, you know, we do at night, but I also work my other job at night and I do other things at night. So I'm trying to switch things around a little bit. So we'll see how that works. But yeah, so tonight, let's see, what is everyone saying here? Hello, Susan. Hello, Lorraine. Hello, Teresa. Thank you for joining in. Terry is there. Says, I was concerned and resorted to watching video from the drive there. Yeah, we did a video on the drive there. We did a few videos while we were there. Andrew was mostly doing videos only on Facebook. He didn't hook up the StreamYard. And the reason is because when we're on the go, StreamYard makes it incredibly difficult to flip the camera around. So when we're like bumping and jiving in the car and driving and walking around, it's very difficult to do that. So he just stuck to YouTube only. So we'll be filling you in on some things that happened. And he shared a lot on his Andrew Thornton artist page, if you saw that, and also on his private Facebook page in his stories, he shared a lot. It was mostly a trip for him as far as being a maker and a metalsmith. So he shared a lot of the stuff from his page instead of us sharing it all from ours. Suzanne got on YouTube. Good. I'm glad. Hello, Janice. Thank you for joining in. Hello, Susan. She says, welcome home. Thank you so much. We are home. We still have not, we have I'm talking to Susan mostly because she's our neighbor. If you see our yard is still high because our lawnmower broke right before we left. Our lawnmower died, and we still have not gotten a replacement. It's on its way. So thankfully our neighbors are very nice and don't report us. Yeah, our grass is like, well, we have some weeds that are like very tall. The grass itself isn't so bad, but it's it looks like no one lives at our house right now. It's sort of embarrassing, but our neighbors from Piddler's Pub, if you're in Ligonier, our neighbors here at Star Cottage Studio own a pub and restaurant called Piddler's Pub, and we love their pizza. I might be getting their pizza tonight. We'll see. They kept our grass mowed here at the cottage. I think maybe they saw that we posted about our lawnmower being broken. So thank you out to them. And if you are in Ligonier and you are watching this video, please go show them some love. Go like their Facebook page. Go say hi. Tell them the guys at Allegory sent you. They're really nice people and they make good pizza and cheese sticks and fried pickles. I can vouch for those. So yeah. Teresa said, loved all the videos and the stories. Good. I'm glad you did. Andrew tried to keep everyone posted on some of the things. You know, it was a whirlwind of a weekend. It was hard to find time to capture everything, just because we literally were in meeting after meeting and talk and presentation after presentation. There was very little time in between. And so we tried to sneak a few photos here and there, especially Andrew, as he could, and share things. Janice says, now you're making me hungry for pizza, right? Mary says, such lovely neighbors at Star Cottage Studio. They are. We're lucky to be by nice people. We have nice people all over. Our neighbors at the house are amazing. Our neighbors down at the store, our business neighbors are amazing. And so our neighbors here at Star Cottage Studio, we're very fortunate. I was thinking of something, or I saw something the other day. Have any of you seen the term pronoia? It was coined, I can't remember when it was first coined, but pronoia instead of paranoia. Pronoia is a thing that people believe when, instead of, paranoia is that the world is out to get you, right? Is conspiring against you. Pronoia is the feeling and the thought that the world is conspiring to help you. That things are coming together for you, that the people out in the world and the world itself and the universe is on your side and is conspiring together to help you. And so I thought that was an interesting thing, and I'm trying to shift my mental, outlook, because I talk a lot on here how I suffer from anxiety, and paranoia is definitely a part of anxiety. I'm trying to shift into a pronoia stage of thinking where the world is conspiring to help us. And things are coming together to help us. And I know all of you are out there to help us, and we appreciate that with all your shares and your support, your purchases, and just likes and comments. That all helps. But just the idea that the world in general is coming together to help you is such, I found that such an amazing term, and such, I don't know that it quite works as a term, but I like the idea. And it just happened to come across, I don't know how, my timeline somewhere. And my mom has always said that things work out for us, in general, for our family. We've been through a lot together. It's been, my dad had alcohol and drug issues. It really broke up our family for a long time. We suffered a lot because of it. My mom especially, because she was stuck in a world where she was either having to be a single mother or deal with these kind of issues, and try to keep her kids away from it. And it was very difficult. I don't know how I honestly don't know how she did it. She's a very strong person, but it's, in the end, even through all of that and through everything she went through, and probably saw a lot more than what we ever saw, even though we saw a lot too, she still has the outlook. And it's not always there. Sometimes you get caught up, but she's still, in the end, when everything flushes out and everything is, very, at the end of everything, she still says to me, and she still believes that things work out for us. And it may not be the way you expect, but just knowing that she always says that, and then this pronoia idea coming across my timeline, it kind of jived. And it's like, yeah, most of the time they do, and it's not always the way you want things to work out. It's not always the best way for things to work out in your mind. But we've been very fortunate in my family, I guess, and in my life, I've been fortunate that a lot of things, generally, when I look back on them, even though there were hard times and things that maybe shouldn't, you always think they shouldn't have happened, or you shouldn't have had to deal with them, but they work out for, in the end, I'm okay. I have a husband, I have children, fur babies, I have a business, with my partner. We have so much, and I can't help but remember that things work out for us. And pronoia is a perfect example, or a perfect, I guess, idea for that. Marianne says, I could use a little pronoia in my life. Not that it's bad, right? I think it's a lot in the mindset. A lot of people at the conference were talking about the idea um, of manifesting. I don't know how many of you believe in that, whether you believe in the the magical manifesting, or whether you believe in magic itself, or the idea of witches, or whatever you want to call it, or if you just believe in the idea that your brain sends out waves, and you attract like waves to your brain that are out there in the universe, and you it's like an antenna. That's one of the theories too, is that your brain does send out waves, and when you send out those waves, like waves find those. So if you're sending out bad waves are going to come back to you. I read a lot about this kind of stuff sometimes, just for informational things, and I think there's a lot to it in a lot of times. My hair is a mess right now. I didn't do anything but run around today, so sorry that my hair looks like it's crazy. But yeah, I think the idea of manifestation, a lot of people were talking about it at the conference, and just how, you know, some people came from bad backgrounds, some people very diverse backgrounds, from everyone there. And a lot of them had this idea that if you put it in your mind, you can accomplish it, right? And you can make things happen. And that all kind of ties together. And it just seemed like, you know, when you're in the right place at the right time, like all this is happening, people talking about manifesting, and then all these things coming across my timeline about pronoia, and remembering my mom's words and what she always believes, even through such, you know, hardship that she went through. Um, it's amazing. And, you know, sometimes you're in the right place at the right time, and you just think that these things, that there's a reason that you're seeing them all at the same time, right? And so it was just something to think about, and something that I wanted to talk about a little bit today. And I don't know how many of you out there believe in it or don't believe in it. And that's, you know, it's your prerogative. You know, maybe you don't, maybe you do. But I think there is something to say, you know, whether it's just looking at it in a way of you're making a goal for yourself, because it can be the same thing, is that you are putting an idea in your head, and it's a goal for you to accomplish, and you're working toward it. It doesn't have to be anything more than that. But there can also be a much more magical or spiritual, as Marianne said, magic and prayer is a focusing of the will, so that we should focus on manifesting good things, right? Prayer is the same thing in a lot of ways. I think a lot of people, well, prayer can be the same thing. I won't say that. I won't say that it definitely is. But yeah, so it's definitely, I think it's a thing that has me thinking about it right now. So I just thought I'd bring it up. Let's see here. Teresa says, truly believe in manifestation. Pronoia is a great concept. I think so too, right? I don't know that actually pronoia, I don't know that the words, the roots of the words actually form that idea. I haven't really, I'd have to think about that a little bit. But the concept in itself, just instead of paranoia that the world's out to get you, that the world is working for you, I think is a really good concept. And it's not one that I've seen before, other than people saying, like my mom says, things work out. But to have an actual, you know, coined term for it, and that the people are thinking about it, is interesting. Let's see what else is going on. Janice says, I got 2 of the Kittapalooza kits today, and I'm in love. That's awesome. I'm glad. Yeah, our shipper was working even while we were gone to help get things out. So thank you so much for that. Susan says, I got an abominable snowman pizza thanks to your photo the other day. Great. I'm glad you liked that. Yeah, really good pizza, I think. I hope you liked it. I think it was really good. Jacqueline says life usually comes out better than you expected, and a lot of times it does, right? Especially if you're someone like me who is super anxious and you just expect things to just to be terrible. It does often work out better than expected, even if you never. The thing with anxiety, if you suffer from it, or even probably depression, which is something I don't know if I suffer from, I have a feeling that depression is part of my, because even though I'm on medication for anxiety, there is still part of it that's still there. And I'm starting to wonder if it's a little bit of depression too. But the thing with depression is that, or anxiety, is that no matter how many times things work out better than you ever thought, it can happen, you know, 10 out of 10 times that things work out better than you thought they were going to. The next time something happens, your anxiety will not let you believe that it's going to work out better again. It's just going to make you believe that it's going to be terrible again. So that's one of those things. But in a lot of times, I do believe that things often work out better than what you think, especially if you have anxiety and you think they're going to be terrible. Let's see here. Susan says, it was very good, the pizza. Good. Janice says, the pizza looked and sounded awesome. Yeah, I think I want another one. We'll see. Yeah, the abominable snowman, that pizza was from our friends at Roman's Pizza, which is a different pizza shop than Piddler's Pub that we were talking about, our neighbors here at the cottage. Roman's, they came in to have classes with us last week, and I think they were in this week. I wasn't there this week, so they said they were going to try and stop in again to finish some projects. So that pizza, the Abominable Snowman, is from Roman's, which is downtown Ligonier. and Piddler's Pub, which is just on 7-Eleven. So 2 different places, but both really good pizza. Let's see, what else is going on? Susan says, not certain what I think about manifestation. I think I believe in it, but that it comes with a duty to help others in whatever way I can. I can see that. You know, I'm one of those people, like, I save the spiders and I save the flies, and I spent about 5 minutes. We had a little moth, stupid little moth, right? Just that was in our dryer, and it wouldn't come out. And I spent about 5 minutes trying to help it out of the dryer before I turned the dryer on. It was like this big. So, I believe in helping anything that you can. There's that meme that goes around on Facebook talking about, if you're ever in the wrong place at the wrong time, you hope someone would help you, like a spider that gets trapped at the wrong place at the wrong time. It's just there, and you would hope that someone would be kind to you. So I believe in that, whether it's helping other people, whether it's helping other beings. But I also sometimes get so trapped in that, which is my anxiety and my ideas of karma and all that, that sometimes it does prevent me from doing things quickly, or doing things that other people would consider easy. And I think that's part of my anxiety, possibly ADHD. I don't know. I need to discuss that probably with my doctor. But the fact that I can get very caught up in things like, I don't know, it's weird. If I see ants across the sidewalk, I'll step over the ants, of course, and then for the next, like, however many 100 feet, I'll be looking to make sure I'm not stepping on anything as I walk down the sidewalk. Like, it's not just a one thing and done. So that duty that you talk about, feeling to help others in whatever way you can, I think sometimes you can get trapped in that too. I don't necessarily know that I believe in the manifestation idea along with that. I think you can manifest, as long as you're not harming. I don't think you should want to harm people in your manifestations. But I don't know that I could tie those two together, because I don't know that I could ever manifest anything if I tied those two together. But I do in general try in my life just to, I break for the animals crossing the street. I try to liberate anything that's in the wrong place or needs to be taken outside instead of living in the house. Let's see. Oh, there's Becca. Thank you. She says, welcome back. Becca helped us with our cats, and house sat for us a little bit. So thank you so much. Everybody is well and had a good time, and they were very happy to see us, but they were well taken care of. Susan is waiting for my kit to be delivered. Susan, I believe you get back what you put out. I do believe that to a point. But I think there are a lot of people who do a lot of good things who have a lot of rotten luck sometimes. So that's where, I think the idea of manifestation, sometimes the people who do the best things in life and who work for others and do the best things don't believe that they deserve them themselves. And bad things continue to happen to them. And so I think that's one of the other reasons I do believe in manifestation, because I do think that if you can switch your output, your way of thinking about yourself and what you deserve, I think you will help bring things to you and better things to you. But I do believe there are a lot of very nice people that get, the rotten end of the deal. And continually, but then they start believing that they deserve that. And I think that's where the manifestation kind of can help, if you can switch that. And it's not easy. I know it's not easy. Terry says, it is the absolute worst. I think you mean anxiety or depression. Every single thing is anticipated to be an utter disaster with the worst possible outcome despite no history of this. Yes, that is exactly what anxiety is like. So if you don't have anxiety, to give you an idea, if you picture anything in your life, just imagine the worst possible scenario. Now imagine that happening to you for every possible thing you think about. Before my medication, I could not leave my house without imagining you know, I had to check things in my house multiple times. I couldn't leave the dryer running in my house or the dishwasher running in my house. Sometimes I would go through rooms and unplug things because my anxiety would tell me that the house was going to burn down with my cats in it while we were gone. It was a certainty that was going to happen. And so it was that kind of thing. If we were driving down the road and we were up on a mountainside, driving the mountainside, and you could see off, it was a certainty the car tire was going to blow and we were going to go careening off of the road. If I left the dishwasher running, it was going to flood the house, you know, and then we'd have to pay for all the repairs that it would take to do that, which is money we don't have. If I thought of somebody and their name just kind of popped up in my head out of nowhere, if I didn't write them or communicate with them, something terrible was going to happen to them. Like, that's the kind of thing that anxiety can do to you. In every possible thing that flips through your head, there's never a good outcome to anything. It's always the worst outcome to everything. And it's a very difficult thing because I overthink everything to begin with. And you know, when you overthink and you have anxiety, you often overthink multiple bad scenarios that could come of this, but never the good ones. And no matter how many times I left the house and the house didn't burn down, this time was going to be it, right? That's why, you know, I have sensors in our house for things. I have, you know, things that let me know if things are happening in the house. It's weird. It's a weird thing. And no matter how many times it comes out okay, your anxiety will not let you. So Terry, I totally get where you're coming from. Helen says, welcome back. You're late to the show. You're not too late because I'm just getting started. We're talking, chit-chatting. It's been a long time. You know, I like to chat. Someone out there, I'm not sure who you are. If you come up as Facebook user like this, if you click the link that says streamyard.com/ I think it's Facebook, and you allow it to access your Facebook profile, I can usually then see your name here. But whoever it is, says, when I was going through tough times, my mom would always tell me, you are stronger than you know. Words I live by even though she's not here. And it's very good advice because we often are much stronger than we know. Yeah, we often are. We often have to be, right? We often have to be. Marianne says, my computer just shut down. Oh no. I don't know. Is it still Mercury retrograde? I don't know anymore. I'm still wearing my blue Chalcedony though, just in case. Just in case. Teresa says, I'm exactly the same thing. I try and save everything, including people at times. Yes. When people... it's so hard, right? Because we all have people in our lives that never listen to us. No matter how many, you know, no matter how much they ask for advice or, you know, want your help, and they don't listen. And it's so hard, right? Because sometimes you want to help someone so bad, and you know, because you've been there, you've gone through what they've gone through. And you know, not every advice is cookie cutter, but you know you can help them. And when they don't listen, it's so hard. It's so hard, right? But yes, I do try and save bugs. I save insects. I save little creatures if possible. You know, it's hard. I could never, you know, we've thought about fostering animals and things. I could never start because then I would have an entire house full. I can't. And I have these, you know, there are some times that I can't even, scrolling through Facebook and the animal rescue places come up, and it's so hard. And sometimes I have to just kind of keep scrolling and not interact with them, because the more you interact, the more of them you see. And sometimes I'm just not in a position to, you know, I try and donate when we can. But it's hard. It's hard when you have to, you know, try and save everything in your life. Tracy is with us. Hello, Tracy. Yeah, you're not very late. We're just chit-chatting a little bit here, and then we're going to look at some other things. Terry says, my husband does not have any anxiety. I am riddled with it. Terry says, oh, sounds like you have OCD combined with your anxiety. What a terrifying combination. Yeah, you know, I don't have a lot of telltale signs of anxiety or of OCD. Like, I don't have to necessarily, you know, I don't have a lot of people with OCD, and I've known a few. they have rituals, you know, like you're constantly, you have to check your stove like 8 times, or you have to, you know, you have to turn knobs and make sure they're off. I don't have it to that extent. I'm not saying I don't have any, um, but uh, I do definitely have anxiety. I do definitely want to, it comes from a place of having to do the things that you can think of to do to ward off what could happen. So it's not necessarily, you know, an OCD thing. It's that, okay, if my house were going to burn down, what are the things that would start that fire? Your your dryer that hasn't been cleaned out enough yet, your things that are plugged into the wall, that have been plugged in for years and have never had a problem, but suddenly they might. So you unplug. So it's that kind of, I don't think it's OCD as much as it is just going through the checklist, the mental checklist of, okay, what could cause this disaster that you're thinking about? And in order to stop thinking about it, what can I do to prevent it? But it's a hard thing. It's definitely a hard thing. Oops, just jumped again. Where is it again? Terry says, yes, anxiety is horribly exaggerator of all things. And then depression, the greatest liar of all time, telling you all the untruths, right? It's hard. It's hard. Hello, Emily. Thank you for tuning in. Hello, Barbara. Trace says, my daughter has anxiety and has to be on medication too. I was lucky that I finally talked to my doctor. Andrew pushed me to do it because I'm one of those people that, you know, like we grew up, you know, in the country, and you grew up just, you're strong and you'll figure it out and we'll do this on our own. Those kind of people, that's the kind of people I grew up with. And, you know, my whole family is kind of like that. But I'm glad he pushed me to do it because I got medication that helps me. It doesn't get rid of everything, but it helps me. Suzanne says Saturn is in retrograde now, or is retrograde now. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means, but I hope that's not bad. I hope that I know the retrogrades generally aren't generally good. Janice says, I'm one of those people who has to check multiple times that our garage door is down and even come back after driving for a few blocks. That's part of that kind of OCD tendency sometimes, but it can also, I think, just be anxiety that, you know, but if you saw, you know, I also wonder if I have ADHD because my concentration is not great. And some people, it seems like with ADHD, from what I'm reading, have problems with their concentration. And I can look at something and I can check a lock or check a door, and I will doubt myself that I actually checked it because I wasn't concentrating on it, and I wasn't, you know, it was just, did you actually do that yet or not? So I'm like that. So I kind of get that. I've done things like that. That's why now we have the locks on our door at the house that I can check to see if they're locked from my phone. That was part of the anxiety thing, is that at least I know the doors are locked. I don't have to go back and check them again. But yeah, there's all these things that tie together, I think. Brooke says, if you are diagnosed with ADD, you may find relief for your anxiety with ADD meds. I'm back on meds after many years off, and my anxiety has been greatly alleviated. That's what I've read too. And, you know, they say you have, and somebody here said that actually, that you have to have been, you know, have had ADHD since you were at least 12, because it's something that it doesn't come and go. And it's a developmental thing. So it would be in your childhood. And you know, my childhood, I think I was naturally good at a lot of things. So I think despite some tendencies to not pay attention as much, or to have some things, you know, that I had a hard time focusing on, I was just good at them. So I got through. So I was never diagnosed with it, and I was never even thought about it really. But now that I look back on things, I've never been one to be able to, you know, start a project and like actually follow it through, unless it took like 10 minutes and then I can finish it. But if it takes a long time, it's very hard for me to do that. I would write all of my term papers in one sitting, no matter what language they were in. And I had to write them and just finish them, be done with them. And I couldn't stand to edit them or take the time to look back. I wrote most of my papers in one sitting and turned in that rough draft, that one draft. I'm a very messy, disorganized person unless I like fight to overcome that. So I think I have a lot of tendencies of ADHD, and I need to actually, I probably should get evaluated psychologically. I guess there's a psychological evaluation you can go through that tells you better than just guessing. But a lot of people have said, Brooke, that I've read about this and I've watched YouTube videos that once their ADHD was calmed down, or ADD, depending on which one, some people do still have just the attention deficit and not the hyperactivity, because I don't think I have the hyperactivity portion of it. But they do say that their anxiety often goes away too. Oh, Sandra's out there. You lost your name in StreamYard. Yeah, it'll disconnect you sometimes. You got to reconnect every once in a while. Mercury did go direct on 6/3. There's a shadow period for about a week. Yes, I think we're in the shadow period still. Emily says, I keep jars especially to get bugs out of the house safely. I get it. I get it. Let's see here. What else? What is everyone? Sorry, my comments jumped again. Valerie says, having the first really beautiful day here in Winnipeg Beach. The ice in the lake is gone and sunshine. Nice. We are at 80 some degrees today, and I stayed indoors most of the day. Took the cats out because they haven't gone out since we were gone. So we took them out in the yard a little bit and in between things, but mostly indoors. But I'm glad it's good for you up there. Ice on the lake still, that's a little wild. Susan says, I won't look at your grass if you don't look at my horde weeds and landscaping, right? Yeah, it all happens sometimes. You just can't do what you can do. Oh, Janice talking about you could do it fostering cats and things. Feeling when they find their forever home is the best feeling. I always have tears in my eyes, but my heart is happy. I foster failed over the years, but have learned what my limit is. I would have a hard time with limits, I think, but I think you're right. I think, I think that people who do foster are like me and like us. That I think the best fosters are the people who don't want to let them go and want to make sure they do find the good homes. Helen says, you have a tender heart. Thank you. Thank you. I try. Whoops, where am I now? Emily says, me too, worry about the unknown, what might happen. It's hard. There is adult onset ADD, Helen says. Everything I'm reading or watching has said that there generally isn't, but that I'll have to look into that a little bit more. The only if in your youth is 10 to 15 years ago. Everything that I've been watching here within, and it's all been within the last, I try to look within the last 2 to 3 years at the latest. And what they seem to say is that if you have, what they were saying is if you have adult onset, it's not that it was onset, it was just that it was not diagnosed, but that it is a developmental disorder, and that if your brain's lacking that chemical, it's been lacking that chemical, which is why I kind of think that maybe I had it or have it and did not know because I just overcame it in other ways. But I'll have to look more into that because everything that I'm reading and every place that I'm looking at, they're being testing, they pretty much say that if you haven't had it since at least the age of 12 or so, that they're probably assuming you don't. But I will definitely have to look into that. Julie says, just quietly listening today. Thank you so much. Marianne says, insects in my apartment become corpses. Oh no, no, let them go. Let them be free. They're just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Any one of us could be. Any one of us could be. Cynthia's out there. Hello, Cynthia. I hope you're doing well. It's been a while since I've got to actually chat with you. But I hope everything's going well there. I know Andrew was talking to you a little bit yesterday. Let's see here. Janice says insects don't do well in our house either. See, I can't do it. I have to let them go because they're little beings. They're here just by happenstance. See, I'm not a religious person, so I do believe that we're here by happenstance. That's my belief. That we're no luckier for being here or no smarter for being here than a butterfly or an ant. So for me, if I snuff those things out, which I do on occasion, sometimes, you know, I'm in the wrong place or the wrong mindset, and or I try to help something and I end up not helping, and then it's best to, you know, put them out of their misery. But for me, because of the way I believe in things, that everything is, you know, I don't believe in a tiered system of anything. I believe we are all one thing, or we are all part of one system. And so I don't have a hierarchy that humans sit on top or anything like that. So for me, I try my best to let everything go if I can, and let it be, and let it live, and let it continue on. It's really hard when I mow the grass. My anxiety does sometimes get the best of me, and that part of me that says you need to watch out for all the grasshoppers and all the insects and all the spiders and all the, sometimes cutting the grass is an emotional event for me. So yeah, it's, you know, everyone's different and everyone believes what they believe, and that's fine, you know. But yeah, it's hard for me to not you know, try and save anything, because I feel like that, like I said, if I were in the wrong place at the wrong time, or there were some creatures that were bigger than me, or more intelligent than me, that we find out, you know, I would hope that they would take care of me too. We don't know what's out there in the universe. You know, it's weird. It's weird to think about that, but we don't know what's out there. And if something came to Earth and was more intelligent than us and couldn't understand what we were saying or doing, or was so colossally bigger than us that they could barely see us, I would hope that if they did, that they would move me aside and put me in a safe space. So that's the way I look at things. Cynthia says, it seems like forever since y'all were on. I only see a handful of people, not many outside the family, so interacting here is my social time, right? Yeah, it's hard. It's hard. It does seem like it was forever since we were on, which is why I'm so chatty, which is why I spent 41 minutes chatting with you all instead of showing you things. But that happens sometimes. So how about we get to showing some stuff? Actually, I have some gemstones. I'm going to show you some of those. They are in the online store, however, and you can see them there. We have some vintage sequins that we just added to the online store. So I'm going to show you some of those, kind of quote unquote in person. We started to put some of our wooden pendants in the online store as well. I know it's weird. We make these wooden pendants. We make them ourselves, and we still, in the last 2 years of the pandemic, have not loaded these into this online store. We used to have a lot of them in our previous online store, but we've had issues with our laser here and there, and things, you know, not working, and so it's been a little scary sometimes to add them. But I bit the bullet, and I said, let's make some of these. Let's put them in the online store. Let's see if people still want them. There was somebody at the conference that were talking about laser things, and like laser pendants, and they were glad that that time has passed, because everyone was doing the same thing. So I hope that's not the case. I hope you don't feel that time has passed. I hope you still like these. And if you do, they're available in the online store. Let's see here. The only thing that will bite the dust around my place would be mosquitoes, because they just won't go away. Yeah, mosquitoes are hard. I do try to escort them out the door if I'm near a door, but they do have a tendency to buzz around you, and I do only have so much patience. Or so many patience, so much patience. So yeah, certain things can get the best of me too. I admit, I don't have the best temper sometimes. Susan says, if manifestation requires cruelty to others, people, and animals, then that particular manifestation should not happen. Yeah, and that's, you know, that's a big thing too, is that some religions, some spiritual practices believe that manifestation does require sacrifice. And that's a whole other thing to get into, which I won't, because I don't do that kind of thing. I don't work that kind of magic or that kind of practice. I couldn't. I started being a vegetarian because I couldn't handle that other people were killing animals for me to eat. So for me to actually kill an animal for something in my own purposes would be really hard for me. So I agree with you kind of on that. But I do know that there are spiritual practices and religious practices that do need sacrifice or do require sacrifice. And so that's, that's a whole other thing to get into. Mosquitoes and fruit flies are going down. Also roaches, sorry. Yeah, sometimes the things that can overcome your home, that can be hard. That can be hard. Let's see here. Okay, what else is going on? All right, I'm going to show you some stuff. Let's show you some stuff, because if I don't, I'm just going to read comments and just talk to you all day. And this is not a let's chat. This is not what we set this up as, although maybe I should have. But I'm going to flip the camera around here real quick. And my squeaky. And this is why I wish they would just build in a way to flip the camera without having to. Now I have boxes beside me, and these boxes are probably causing, some shadows. Teresa said I'm vegan because of the same reasons. Yeah, I cannot commit to vegan. I do eat eggs for protein, and I do like honey and cheese, and I do believe still that I believe that creatures can help one another, and if we can help one another in a way that doesn't harm each other, I think that's okay. So I do, I try my best not to buy, leather shoes or leather goods. So because that requires killing, but eggs and milk, and, as long as everyone's treating each other well, I think I can at least in my own mind, I can say I can live with that. Emily says, and ice cream, right? I can live with that. Otherwise, I probably would be vegan, but I can at least say, as long as things are treated well and animals are treated well, then I can do that. Killing things, though, for my own good, I have a really hard time with. Not to say anything that people, you eat meat, that's fine. It's a thing. And also, because of my belief that there isn't a hierarchy and nothing is better than anything else, if you do hunt to eat, or you kill to eat something could hunt to kill, eat you. So it's, there's no hierarchy here. So I don't necessarily think there's anything wrong with it. I just personally don't want to be responsible for the death of something if I couldn't do it myself. And I would have a very hard time killing anything to eat it. Susan says, if my manifestation requires me to be cruel to other humans, example, put out a product that sickens people, then that manifestation should not happen. I agree. Susan says there are vegan ice cream brands that are fantastic. I'm sure there are. There are a lot of things, and we do on occasion eat vegan stuff just because too, to cut down on some of that. But like I said, me personally, I can deal with vegetarian because we don't kill anything necessarily to eat or to live. So I'm okay with that. I can deal with that. If I had to go fully vegan, especially in a rural area like this, it would be very difficult. And there is a thing that, it is pricier sometimes, especially when you're in a rural area, to get things like that. It's a little bit more difficult, but not that that excuses it, but I can live with the way I am. Marianne says, I can kill. So there you go. See? And if you can, you can, right? I don't like to do that. It's not my choice. And I would have a very hard time with that choice. Andrew's less like me. Andrew does the vegetarianism more because it's healthier in some ways. And so he's like, if I had to kill to eat, I'd be fine doing it. So we will at least eat if we ever had to come to that circumstance. But we do think about, Emily says, true, I love the almond milk products. I also drink almond milk, not cow's milk. Yeah, I don't drink a lot of cow's milk. because that generally the dairy that kind of, you know, the milk, you know, sometimes milk, I want to call them factories, farms probably are more factories than anything else, is hard. But also, so I was reading this book about, was it in that book? I've also read a lot of things that the almonds are, you know, growing almonds actually are not that great for the environment. And making all the almonds for the almond milk and things that people do and drink is not great. So I tried to switch over to, what's the other one? The other kind of milk. It's not barley. Maybe it is barley. I can't remember. There's another kind of milk out there in the world now. That when I have the option of getting that instead, I get that instead, because apparently almond milk is terrible for the environment in a lot of ways. So, you know, you can't win sometimes. You try to do your best. Terry says, I will vouch, so delicious. I guess that's a brand. Non-dairy ice cream is quite tasty. I also have lactose issues, so it's a more intelligent choice for me. Yes, lactose is another thing too. I had issues with that for a while. They went away, thankfully. Oat milk, yes, Suzanne, thank you. Oat milk, not barley. Oat milk. Marion says, I do draw a line at unnecessary cruelty. Yeah, I would hope so. Cynthia says, I actually prefer oat milk. I do like oat milk too. I like it. It's creamier. It has a thicker texture, I think, and it's really good in things. Terry says the same farms that send dairy to made into milk also send it to be made into cheese or ice cream. Yeah, they can. We tend to eat, a lot of times we eat cheeses that are from small private farms, or we're lucky to have some nice farms around here that we know that animals are treated well. So, and I don't eat a lot of ice cream in general, but a lot of that can be sent out too. Terry says cashew milk is actually pretty good, and I hate cashews. Cynthia says the oat milk is low impact and it froths great. It does froth really well. You got us that frother, and I frothed it before, and it does actually work really well. Teresa says, I make my own cheese with oat milk. That's awesome. That's awesome. I've never thought about doing that, but that would be interesting. Janice says, we'll have to try oat milk. Yeah, never tried oat milk. Try it if you haven't. And Terry says, organic is always a kinder choice if you can afford it. Generally it is, you know, and there's a lot of debate about organic and how sometimes things are still, you know, in there, and people, you know, work ways around all that. But yeah, if you can, it's a nicer choice. Or grow your own if you have a garden, right? If you can grow your own stuff, that's always amazing. Okay, anyway, here we go. How about that? Many of you may never have seen these because these pendants, they used to be in the old online store, but if you've not been following us since about 2 or 3 years ago, you may never know these even existed. So these are wooden pendants. All of the ones that I have today were drawn, they were hand drawn by Andrew, and then he takes them through the computer and makes magic with like Adobe Illustrator and other programs, turns them into a graphic, and then we engrave them onto these wooden pendants. Actually, we engrave them onto a large sheet of wood, and it cuts them into these wooden pendants. I think the wooden pendants, they should all be about $8, I think, in the online store. I'm pretty sure that's what they are. I haven't had a chance to look at them, but I know that they were getting placed on the online store today. So here they are. This is just a few. We have like hundreds of designs, and we're going to work on getting a lot of them in the online store. Some we may discontinue. Cynthia said they look good painted. They do. Thank you, Cynthia. They look very good if you paint them. And Andrew has done many different videos on patinaing and painting our wooden pendants. Most of the ones that we've shown you lately, though, are the wooden cutouts, but these are the same wood. So you can use any of those techniques to work on these too. So if you want to see any of those, you can look back through. Mostly, there are some, I think, on YouTube from the TGBEs. I think he showed you some of those. But also on Facebook is the best place probably to find some of those older videos, because we weren't broadcasting on YouTube at the time. So there's a rabbit. Here is a dragon. And again, these are all hand drawn by Andrew. So he drew them in his idea book. If you've ever seen his videos about his idea book, he drew them in there. Some of them came to be, and some are probably in the idea book still hiding. So you can find these at allegorygallery.com. This is the Dragon Pendant. This is a pretty large one too, just to give you an idea. And then there's a bee and a honeycomb. Now we also have commissioned, actually there are some other ones in the online store. We have commissioned some artists to do wooden pendants for us and drawn things. Cynthia is one of them. So we have a few by Cynthia that I'm going to be, we call them printing the pendants. We'll be engraving and etching them soon. They're a series by Cynthia. We also have a series right now on the online store. We've had those for a while because I think we put them on because she was in town with us when we were changing things over, by Christy Friesen. We have some hand-drawn items by Christy Friesen that we turned into pendants. We purchased the rights to the drawings, and we now turn them into pendants. So this is a bee and a honeycomb. This is King Cat. King Cat. I think Andrew had Paolo in mind back when he did this one. This is our King Kitty pendant. Which I love. I love the little fish going around his head, like a crown in the background, all those little fish. Cats are not afraid to eat the fish, right? There's a little baby dragon coming out of its egg. Little baby dragon coming out of its egg. Suzanne got some of Christie's and used them for Christmas ornaments. That's cool. Yeah, these are definitely, you can definitely use these as other things too. You can use them as a pendant if you want to, or you can use them like Suzanne did as Christmas ornaments, or you know, just to hang around. Andrew has some dead tree branches that he puts in a vase and he hangs things from them. And I think originally it was his earring tree, since we don't have pierced ears. Andrew doesn't have pierced ears, but he would buy earrings to help support other artists and just hang them on his earring tree. So you can have something like that, and you can hang these from them too. We have this owl. Now, Cynthia, did you do this owl? I think Cynthia did this owl. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure Cynthia did this one, because I think I wanted to do one of hers. Terry says open wallet and pours out the change. Dragons, right? Yeah, Cynthia did this one. So this is one from Cynthia. This little owl in the tree. I love this one. So we'll be doing more of Cynthia's as the time goes on. We'll be adding more and more of these to the online store. Sometimes our laser breaks down. So I'm always fearful of putting these in the online store and then having something happen, because it seems to happen often. But knock on wood, I'm knocking right now, the laser has been working okay. I think I tightened up some things and I redid some things, and it seems to be working. Again, touche bois, as they say in French, right? Touch wood. So I'm putting these in the online store, and I'm hoping that people love them. I'm hoping that we're able to continue printing them for you. They are printed on demand. They are not, I don't have an overstock of them. And the reason I don't is because we have a lot of designs. And if I printed a bunch of each design, we'd run out of the wood. And the wood is hard to get right now. So when you order them, there is going to be a slight delay of a few days, probably, depending on what our schedule is. Because we do print them on demand for each order. So sometimes it takes us a little while. Terry says, lasers are finicky and need frequent kind words of encouragement along with periodic cleaning. It's true. We clean our laser like crazy, but I think those words of encouragement. At one point, it could not draw circles anymore. And I found hidden underneath, and underneath, around a corner and upside down, I found a screw that was loose that was causing it not to print circles anymore. And once I tightened that, it was okay. So we learned a little bit more. We've had this laser for 5, 6, 7 years. I can't remember now. But we learn something, new every time it breaks down. And, sometimes these take a little longer. to get to you, but if you like them, just know that it might take a little bit, but we will get them out to you as soon as we can. The next one is the Courage Flame Heart. You have the little flame with the heart, with courage, with the rose there. Beautiful. Now these are blank on the back right now, but we do put our logo. We do usually engrave our logo on the back. You got to brand things, right? Got to brand things. So they will, even though they are blank right now, usually there's an AG, just a little AG somewhere on the back. Sometimes it's in the center, sometimes it's down here. So just know that. On some of the really small pieces, we have some pieces that are really small that are made for earrings. A lot of times I won't put the AG on those though, because it's just, I know they're going to probably be used for earrings, and you don't want something on the back. Teresa was asking what paints. Cynthia says, I've used acrylics. I like the Golden brand, alcohol inks, and patina paints. It all works great though. Thin inks might need clear gesso to prevent bleed. So there's if you're looking to paint them. Terry says, we run 4 lasers at work, 2 smaller and 2 huge. They are equally problematic and can present some real head-scratching situations. It's true. People don't understand sometimes. But like I said, if we don't print these on demand, if I just made like a few of each of these, we'd quickly run out of wood. And right now, it's a hard thing to get in the world. It used to be we could order it easily, but they don't always have stock of the ones that we use. So we have reduced all of these to only being printed in maple instead of the maple. We used to offer maple, walnut, cherry, and basswood, but they're only maple, which is what you're seeing here, because the maples tends to be, I think, a little easier to get. So this is what we have. Whoops. This is the angel puppy, angel dog. And the holes are in the wings on this one. You can see holes better on the back. So this is an angel puppy. Andrew drew that. We had some requests for that, so Andrew made one finally for that. Here's a flying swallow. And to go with that one, here's a fish, a koi fish, I think. Goldfish, koi fish. I think these are both Andrew's. Cynthia can tell me if any of them were hers. I think these were Andrew's though, because Cynthia also did some, I think, some fish for us, but I think it was in a different shape. Then we have the stag. I love this one. I love it a lot. I don't know what I should do. I'm running out of space. Maybe I'll just raise this up so we get another level. How about that? There we go. Then we have the crow with the feathers with the skull in its beak. I do believe we also have one that does not have a skull, but I printed this one because I liked it better. Joanne says the wooden pendants are so awesome and I really love them. Thank you. I hope people like them. They are now in the online store, so you can go check them out if you want to grab one or two. If I see people ordering them, we'll continue to add more of these into the online store. But if like somebody said at that meeting or that conference, if the fad, quote unquote fad of lasered stuff is over, then I won't bother because like I said, it's a lot of work to add these. But if I see people liking them, and here's the, oh, I just lost it. Is it the Flower of Life? Flower, what is this? I just lost it in my head. I'm sure some of you out there know. You can help me. Flower of Life, I want to say, the symbol. So there's the first batch that we're adding to the online store, or we have added to the online store. Ah, there. Thank you, Amanda. Flower of Life. Cindy said they are so collectible. I can see they is pinned into a shadow box. Absolutely. Sacred geometry. Yes, Flower of Life, sacred geometry. So this is the first batch added into the online store. If we see people buying some of these, we will go ahead and make more because there are probably hundreds of designs that Andrew's made over the years. A lot of the cutouts are already there. And the cutouts are easier, much easier and much faster to make. So that's why the cutouts went into the online store first. But the engraved ones, like I think this one can take upwards of an hour just to, I think it's maybe more than that. It might be an hour and a half just to make one pendant. So it takes a while. We don't have a big high power laser. It's just a small laser. So they take a long time. So I don't want to make a ton of them and do this if people don't want them. But if you do, they're on the website and you can grab them now. At least these ones. We'll be coming out with more later. All right. Okay, so those are the wooden pendants. I said I had a bunch of stuff for you today. I have like a mishmash of stuff. So we're just going to go through them here. I have sequins too. Want to see the sequins? Who wants to see that? Oh, no, never mind. I thought that was something else. What is this? Sequins? Ooh, those are limited quantity. I didn't realize they were in limited quantity. Marianne says my favorite pendant was the rabbit. I like the rabbit too. I like the stag. I like the honeybee. I love the bees. I love bees. So stags, bees, the dragons are cool. You can probably tell a lot of the ones that I just showed you. They're the ones that we're starting with because they're some of my favorites. So yeah, it's hard for me to pick a favorite out of that batch because that batch pretty much is my favorites. Okay, so vintage sequins. We added vintage sequins to the online store. Terry says, I will be adding a baby dragon and probably more to an upcoming order. Thank you so much. I love that these are made on demand, so I don't have to rush worrying it will be out of stock. Yeah, you know, the only thing that would make them go out of stock is if we run out of the wood and can't get it in any timely fashion, then we'll take them all out of stock. But yeah, that's a nice thing about it. And it's easier that way, I think, for us and for you all. So these are these beautiful golden color, hope you can see that, vintage sequins. We showed you a lot of the pink vintage sequins. I don't have the pink ones for sale in the online store. They're available in a lot of the kits that we did for Kitapalooza, which, by the way, there are still a lot of kits available from Kitapalooza. So if you haven't gotten yours, I would recommend checking them out, especially if you need some inspiration. But these are the golden kind of color, yellow, golden. They reflect kind of pink and green. And you get about 50, and we say approximately 50 because we want to say there's exactly 50. But if you've ever worked with sequins, you know they stick together and you know that they are sometimes static, electrified. So they're hard to count. So there should be approximately 50, give or take here and there, a few, when you purchase these. And these are $5 a pack only. $5 a pack, which I think is great. Some of these are super limited in quantity, like this next batch that I'm going to show you. The shells. These little seashell vintage sequins. They're this golden color. I think we only have like 3 or 4 bags of these. So if you want them, get them fast. Like I said, each bag is only $5 for approximately 50 sequins. And these are vintage. Once they're gone, we're not going to have any more of these. Cindy says, I like to use sequins in earrings, lightweight, and add so much movement and sparkle. Yeah, you just throw them on the ends of some chain, right? Add some sequins on there at the end of some chain, some different maybe height in chains. And there you go. You have a nice pair of beautiful earrings that are super lightweight and give you lots of movement and sparkle, as Cynthia said. Suzanne said, I got all of my kits today, all lovely. Thank you so much. Susan says, you all outdid yourself with Kitapalooza. I know, we went wild. We went wild, and I hope you like them. I hope that people continue to buy them because we have a lot of them. We did a lot of kits. And if people don't buy these kits, it's going to be hard for us to decide to make more kits, even though we probably will. But we hope you continue to buy them. We hope you like them. We hope they give you, most importantly, some inspiration and that needed jolt of energy if you need it, right? Wendy says, love my kits. Thank you so much, Wendy. Next up, we have these white. Now, in the picture, it was insanely difficult to get a picture of these that reflected white because as you can see, they have all different colors in them. They mainly reflect a lot of pink. So in the picture, these look a little bit pink, but you can see here they're pretty white. But they do have that kind of pink iridescence to them. So, but these are especially pretty. If you can see, they're kind of like opals. Like, you can't see that in the picture, and that's why I wanted to show these on video. They're kind of like, they have that kind of like opal quality to them where they reflect all those beautiful colors. So these white ones, really pretty. Grab them now, limited quantities in these vintage things. And once they're gone, they're gone. As you can see, they're not easy to count or put back as they stick. See, sticking, doesn't want to let go. Okay. Oh, Terry says, and Suzanne said, almost forgot the small stone add-on. Yeah, we were sending out, you know, some blue chalcedony out there with y'all to keep you protected during Mercury retrograde. So you can hold on to that. We had a little stash of it. We wanted to add it to some of the packages. So I'm glad you like that. Terry says, thank you, Allegory Gallery, for being so awesome. Thank you for ordering. Susan says, they look like mother of pearl, right? Yeah. Cynthia says, I love to imagine the clothes that these sequins were made for, right? Imagine what they were actually used for at some point. Next up, we have this beautiful gunmetal kind of color. Beautiful kind of gunmetal color. And these are vintage sequins. Now, imagine those on some earrings, on some chain dangling on someone's ears. Those would be beautiful. Now remember, I sent out an email about these earlier today, so maybe you saw that already, so you knew this was coming up. But you can also use these in other artistic projects, right? Some people do dioramas and the shadow boxes, and you can glue these and add them to things to add a little bit of sparkle. You can use them, you know, I think somebody did some like dragon scales with things like this, layering them up in a painting. So you can do a lot of different things with them. They don't have to just be for jewelry. So keep that in mind if you're into other artistic endeavors. How about that? So let me put that. Those are the colors I have for you today. Like I said, if you like the pink ones, a lot of the kits that we made up for Kitapalooza have pink ones in them. So if you want a pack of those, you can get them in with the kits. And I think somewhere we have green ones, but I can't find the green ones. Maybe we use them all in kits and stuff. But if we find green ones, we'll put those in the online store too. But I love these ones. I love the white ones especially. I love the gunmetal colored ones. They're all really nice. Marianne's waiting for her kits to make it up to Canada. I hope they ship. Did they ship already? I know we're behind on some things because some things, I don't think you had any laser pendants, but we ran out of, some people ordered some of the Christy Friesen wooden pendants that we do. And I thought I had printed enough before we left, but I think I missed a few. So I don't know if that's why, but there are still a few things that are being waited on. And I'm working on, I printed a bunch of pendants today. And hopefully we'll be getting as much out to you all if you're still waiting on some orders. We're trying our best to combine to save you in shipping. So if it was something about that, if there's just one thing missing, like some people, thankfully, I mean, thank you all. Some people ordered 5 or 6 different orders from us throughout Kitapalooza, even if it was just one kit per order. But we're trying to combine. So if anything in your order is out of stock, it will hold up everything. Hello, Harry. Thank you for tuning in. Oh, Marianne says, sometimes living in Canada is a pain, but there are so many reasons to be glad to live here. I bet. I know. We met some really wonderful people during Snag who came from Canada, because it is the Society of North American Goldsmiths. And so they came down from Canada, some from Toronto region, some from Niagara Falls area. and came down to hang out. And really nice people. And it was just interesting talking about the differences sometimes in our countries, especially when it comes to healthcare and things like that. So let's see. This bag is for our shipping helper. Oh, there's Andrew. He made it.
Hello, everyone.
He made it. So we're still doing stuff because I've just been talking most of the time.
Good.
So these are things that I showed you once upon a time, and we put them in the online store now. If you want to grab these are gemstone strands, and they're $25 a strand. And so we just added them all. So I'm going to show you them quickly. This is some Peridot. Now I have done a video on these before, and they were only, you had to actually ask us, you know, and send in a message or an email and we'd get you an invoice. Now they're in the online store. So they're not new to everybody here tuning in. They may be new to you if you haven't watched us in a while or watched for a while. But this is Peridot. These are 5mm approximately by 2mm little Peridot kind of squares. They're cut into square shape. And those are $25 in the online store. Next up, we have more Peridot. But this Peridot is in a cube shape, and they're approximately 3 to 4mm cubes. And I'm just doing these quickly because I know some of you have already seen these, but I think you can get an idea. And if you want them, they're in the online store. You can take another look at them there. But these are really quality. These are very nice. And for only $25 a strand, most of these are, I think, 16-inch strands or a little over even. So they're legitimately full-size strands. So those are gorgeous. Then we have some emerald, and these are all in that cube / square kind of style. We have some beautiful emerald squares. There, Andrew's bringing me my lights. I was rushing around so much I didn't get my lights in here. I was telling them at the beginning.
Was it dark and romantic? Dark
and romantic feeling in here, right? So beautiful emeralds, $25 a strand. All of these, $25 a strand, no matter what strand you like. They are now in the online store. Green apatite. Look at that. Green apatite. Approximately 5mm by 2mm. All of the descriptions and the sizes are listed in the online store. Just be sure you scroll down, because sometimes on my laptop, I've noticed when I open the product, you see the big name of the product and you see the add to cart and the quantity selector, and you see make multiple payments with shop pay. But then there's a gap. There's like a gap that's like this big. And if you don't scroll down, you don't actually see all the description about the item. I have to see maybe if I can edit the template. I don't know why they put such a big gap in there. But if you scroll down on the page of any of our listings, you should see most of them have sizes. So this is green apatite. Beautiful. And these, some of them, there are only like 2 or 3 strands remaining. Susan says, I have some of these beads. I can testify to how awesome they are. Thank you so much. Some of these are only a few left, so get them now. This is Moonstone, Rainbow Moonstone. Things are falling. Rainbow Moonstone cubes, approximately 4mm cubes. Let's see if we can get some of this light on these Rainbow Moonstones. Whoa.
Welcome to the future.
Welcome to the lit future. Whoa.
Whoa.
Actual lights. What is that?
Wow.
Wow. Now my phone's dying. Do we have a plug? I have a plug in my bag if we need, wherever my bag is. I think it's right in front of the table. So here, Rainbow Moonstone cubes, approximately 4mm cubes. And then we have some multi-moonstone. Marianne says it's gloomy here today with some rain. We had a beautiful day. It's now getting a little bit gloomier out, it looks like. But it's also getting to be nighttime, or closer to it anyway. Harry said they had thunderstorms early this afternoon. It's supposed to start raining tomorrow for us, I think. Amanda says it's raining dogs and cats here. Oh boy. So this is a multi-moonstone. So you get some of the rainbow moonstone, the peach moonstone, the beautiful gray moonstone. So you get all of that. Beautiful strand. And these are about 16¼ inch strands, approximately 5mm by 2mm squares. So 5mm means the sides are 5, and then the thickness is about 2mm. $25 a strand only. Next up, who likes pre-night? I like pre-night. Beautiful pre-night beads. I think I'm getting a headache too. Maybe the weather is changing. So beautiful pre-night. I think we have 3 of those available. Blue opal. Blue opal. These are lovely. Blue opal beads. And these are approximately 5mm cubes. Look how pretty those are. Talk about a stormy day. How about that? Those look like a nice, beautiful, stormy blue gray day. I like that color. And we have, calling it Sky Appetite. A beautiful, transparent, light blue Sky Appetite. And these are approximately 5mm sides and then 1 to 2mm thickness in these little squares. Sky Appetite, 16-inch strands. Here we have green amethyst or prasiolite, green amethyst. These are those 5mm by approximately 2mm thickness squares. I love green amethyst. So pretty. So pretty. And here are what we're calling neon apatite. This gorgeous, gorgeous blue color. These are approximately 3mm by 1mm squares. And then here, some lovely citrine. Citrine. I haven't seen a lot of citrine lately. I feel like it's not something I'm seeing a lot of right now. And I love it. A beautiful kind of honey golden color. Beautiful squares, about 4mm by 1mm thick squares of citrine. Nice, thank you. Got my cable back, plug in my phone.
Is it going?
Hopefully. Can't check without possibly leaving the live.
Oh no.
So we'll see what's happening. Now let's take a look. Let's see. Oh, yep, we're charging. Hopefully you're all still there. Okay, garnet. These are lovely garnet beads. Garnet, about 5mm squares and 2mm thick. on those approximately. Beautiful garnet beads.
Who's watching?
Lots of people are out there. Well, we have 24 people right now. Anyway. And then we have some smaller garnet. I only have one strand of this smaller garnet. These are about 3 millimeter squares by about 1 millimeter thick. So these are
pretty.
They are pretty. Cindy said, I love the square gemstone strung on double thread, so squares are flat.
Like those coin necklaces.
Says, you know that Hessonite garnet is my flavor.
Correct.
Correct. Teresa says, wow, love the garnet. Aren't they pretty? They are really pretty. I love them too. Only one of that strand. More. You love them more?
Correct.
Correct. And last but not least on the gemstones, definitely not least because these are gorgeous, are Labradorite Cubes.
Ooh.
Approximately 5 millimeter cubes. Look at that sparkle and shine on every one of those.
Nice.
That's some quality Labradorite right there.
I love the Labradorite. Some say I love it more than you.
Again, more than me?
Correct.
Terry says, it would be fun to make a Roy G. Biv necklace out of those square beads. However, cost-wise, that is out of my budget range. That would be fun, though. Cindy says, I just knotted a strand of garnet, and now I want to keep it.
You always want to keep it.
Who doesn't want to always keep it, right? Marianne says, garnets are my birthstone.
What month is that?
I don't know what month that is.
I can't remember.
Is it March?
No, that's aquamarine.
Teresa says, look at that sparkle, right? These are very pretty. January. January. I should know. That's my brother's. Amanda says, I love a simple gemstone. Gesundheit. I love a simple gemstone necklace with a pendant, right? Super easy to do, too. All right. So there are those. There are only 3 of these Labradorite strands. No, 2. 2 of these. So if you like that sparkle like I do, and like Andrew apparently does more,
of course,
you want to get in on that.
What's that? Oh my. I know what that is.
We found a few more strands. I don't know if the color is going to look... I mean, this is hard because I'm in the dark a little bit here. Andrew's going to get his phone to see. These are black opal. Black opal. Can you see the colors? You really need daylight for these.
Yeah, you need daylight. There's a little bit.
You can see that green and red especially shining on these. So we added more of the black opal to the website.
Oh, I love it.
And I think these are 65 a strand, if I'm not mistaken. I didn't write that down. There's something like that, which is incredibly inexpensive for this beautiful black opal.
We got that pandemic price.
That's right.
Before inflation.
And there might even be a strand of smooth ones, which I know we ran out. And somebody wanted them, and I don't know who it was.
They wanted it.
But there's the smooth, one smooth strand. You can see the color on that without even adding more light.
I made the sun come out for you.
Made the sun come out. Look at some of that blue. And oh, I love the faceted ones too, though. So those you can find in the online store, the black opals. That didn't help. Cynthia says the prices on the black opal are no longer inexpensive, right? Good deal.
Yes.
We have a good deal still on those.
Correct.
Oh no, Cynthia ate a few fries and now her eyes are starting to swell. I hate the hives. I can't eat fried food and I love it. That would be hard.
I love the fried food.
I love the fried food too.
You know, we had those delicious and fried, Cynthia, dumplings.
Dumplings. Oh.
They were so good.
From this Korean place.
Let's go to Pittsburgh right now to get some dumplings.
Next up and last to show you today, I think we have these These hand-carved wooden face pendants
From Africa.
from Africa. And hey, I'm going to sneeze now. Thank you. I think these are $25 each only. I'm pretty sure.
I love the detail.
Hand-carved pendants from Africa, done in wood. Lots of detail, flat back so they sit nicely against your chest.
I think it's an ebonized wood.
Ebonized.
So it's not actually ebony.
No, they're lighter than ebony, I think would be.
But we learned one of the processes of ebonizing the wood from one of the people we saw.
Yeah, we did.
Your studio.
Next, we have this one. And these are all individually listed, so you get to pick the one that you like the best. The first one I showed you was number 1. This is number 3. If you're looking at photos, they should go in that order. If they're not sold out, that is.
That one's a little bit smaller than that.
That one's a little bit smaller. They're all still the same price. They cost us the same. And this is 2. There's only 3 of these. I thought there were more. Only 3 of these.
That one's a little bit different.
This one is different. I like the little hat on this one or something. I guess that's probably hair, maybe. But they all have that flat back. Beautiful hand-carved wood. Beautiful pendants. Only 3 available. If you love them, get them. African carved.
I like them.
Me too. That's why we bought them for you all.
No.
You like them. All right. So that is what I have to show you, I think, today.
No, show my pendants.
What pendants?
Or pins.
Oh.
Because not everybody follows me on Instagram.
What do you want to show?
Who's ready?
Oh, your pins that you traded for. So Andrew made pins, which you can find. I have one somewhere, not the full one. I have. This is the pre-pin state. This is just fresh out of the laser.
So all that little giblets get picked off.
See all this in here? We got to scrape.
No.
Look, each one of those. We got to scrape all those off to get that coating off of there. So that's what we have to do to these. We got to take the backings off. Then Andrew does all his magic to make them colored in there in those little crease lines.
I paint them.
He paints each one, and then he adds a pin back to it. These are available in the online store, I think, for only $25. Each one of these takes over an hour on the laser to engrave.
Because they're so detailed.
Plus the time that Andrew takes to work on them all. For $25, I think that, or $24, $25, that's a good deal. So if you want a pin, Andrew made these for the pin swap at Snag. And everyone loved his pins so much, they asked if they were available online. So we made some online. And we sold a few of them, but we're going to leave the listing up for a little while longer. But it's not going to be up forever. This is not a forever product. This is like a limited time only. So if you want one of these, get it now because it's not going to last for long. Becca says, is that what I get to do tomorrow? Scrape the paper off. Surprise! So these are some of the pins that Andrew swapped for during the pin trade.
They're really cool. They're also different. We didn't put a card on ours next time.
I know. I keep forgetting sometimes to do that kind of thing.
I brought the card. They just didn't do it. This one.
I didn't see this one ever. That's cool.
That's from that. We packed up her stuff.
Yeah.
Like that at the end. The can.
Yeah.
And the bone.
This is cool. She made a whole can out of metal, her own.
Metals.
Yeah, the Marriage of Metals, her own can, like Pepsi can, Coke can, and then also did a bone. And what else? I can't remember what the third one was.
There was a third one.
This is the one done for Ukraine. the Trident
In the wood.
in the wood. And then this is a little apple, crocheted apple pendant.
I was
pin.
blown away with how much time people put into these, because that's like,
You put a lot of time into yours too.
I know, but
This is one of
as-
our Canadian friends, right? I was telling you
Mhm.
about our Canadian friends. Does the knotting.
That's Dawn.
Dawn is her name, or their name. I'm not sure their pronouns.
This is Sulo.
This is fun, right? Sulo.
Sulobi.
Sulobi. I like Sulobi a lot.
They're the one who organized the In Focus exhibit.
The LGBTQIA plus BIPOC exhibit that I was telling you about earlier. Sulobi. They did this.
Their name is Sparkle Filth on the internet.
Sparkle Filth. That's funny.
That is cross stitch.
What is that?
It's a poppy.
A little poppy.
In cross stitch.
Mini cross stitched poppy.
I was like, whoa.
I made that for a pin for trading. This is our friend Kim
From
Metal Objects. They have an Etsy site. There's something on that Etsy site that I want. It's still there.
Go buy it for him.
Go buy it for me.
You all like him, right?
Right. There's a bug pin that I love. So it's enameled and metal.
That's the
etched
copper
with Snag 2020 etched in there.
So
2022, I mean.
Donut.
Niobium.
Babette would like that.
Donut.
This one is a plaster and fabric. I don't remember who made that one.
I'm trying to remember who that was.
It's all a blur because it happened so fast. And this one is the only one they did that had 2 colors of thread.
So he got that one.
I was like, this one's for me. And then this person, they did cubic right angle weave. They made these little draperies.
That's cool.
And then this one, I love this one. This one is from Rio Grande, and they made the chasing hammer of the future. And I thought that's clever.
So there they are. So if you would like to get one of Andrew's pins, they're still available online. We'll make a few more if people order them, but the listing will be going away very soon. So if you would like one of these, if you don't want to see what they look like in a finished product, you can check the photos on the website. This is a product just fresh out of the laser, and get it now. Get it before it's gone.
I'm going to put those back in so that I can keep them,
so you can keep them for always. All right, let me flip the camera around here.
I don't think I brought that other one. The pieces we bought.
Hello again, everyone. Hello. So we showed you a lot here today. Hopefully you like it, and hopefully you buy some things if you still have some pennies left. I know everyone's a little bit taxed right now, probably. A lot of stuff going on in the world, but we appreciate all of your support. And if you have any questions, just write to us. Let me put that up here real quick. Best way to write to us is sending us an email. It's just easier, and I can forward those emails to our helpers if we need to and all that. So it's easier to do it through an email than through the messaging systems on social media like we used to do. I know we used to point you there a lot of times, but just not as easy anymore as we're trying to grow a little bit. Don't forget, we have a few hundred different pieces in fine pewter. If you haven't checked those out, please look at our AG fine pewter collection on our website. We have lots of good stuff for you. I have seen recently some people making some beautiful things from that. So we're going to be sharing some of those posts here coming up soon. So be sure to check out our stories and some of our shared posts. And please, even if you can't purchase, a great way to support us is by sharing these videos with your friends, sharing them publicly, sharing our posts. Pick a post and just hit that share button. Let people know that we exist. We have been getting here a few people that I don't recognize their names. So it's always good to see new customers and new people falling in and finding us. And I have to, give a lot of you credit for that out there because you're the ones who help share all of our things. So we really appreciate that.
Yeah, if it wasn't for all of you, we would not be able to do what we do.
No, we may not even still be here, actually.
I know we wouldn't.
Without all of you watching this, because these lives have been what keeps us in business. And all of you out there, not the lives, you are keeping us in business, but doing these lives and reaching out to you in this way is really what made us get through the pandemic. And we're not through it yet. We're still, it's still there. It's still here. And it's, going up and down still. So we thank you very much. And we thank you for supporting us. We know there are a lot of options out there where you can get your beads, but we try to do the best job we can for you. We try to make sure that we're only selling you quality and that you will love what you get.
Did you tell them about Saturday?
No, I did not. Would you like to tell them?
Well, let me tell you.
Join me.
What am I going to do? Sit in your lap?
You can get on camera so that you're not just this voice.
Disembodied
voice.
That's my face.
That's Andrew.
Let me get a chair or something.
Get a chair or something.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness. I have a feeling you're gonna chit chat for a while.
He's like, oh my gosh.
I have a feeling we're gonna be here a little bit longer, everyone.
Why, hello, everyone.
Why, hello.
I look like a child next to you.
I can't go down any further. I'm as far down as I can go. Here, you want to switch so you look taller?
Are you ready? No, like,
Okay, tell them about Saturday.
I saw the numbers drop. What's that about?
What's that about? They don't even know what's going to happen on Saturday, and they're already leaving.
I know, they're like, oh, well, goodbye. So, Touchstone, which you may or may not know, that I was recently appointed as a board member. Well, I guess it's not that recent. I was appointed in January. See, somebody likes me. They said they're here. Hey, everybody. It's me, Andrew. Hello? It's me, Andrew. They're like, what is happening? You should have sat on the lap. You would be taller. That's scandalous. You can't have that on the family-friendly TV.
Okay, tell them Saturday.
I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I see all these scandalous suggestions for lap dances. Anyway, so I will be at we will be.
He's making me go.
I've all told William that he has to help me. I'm like, I'm too weak to set up a tent by myself. So hopefully
you have to set up a tent.
Yeah, it's outside. We have to find the tent. I think it's in the garage.
Good luck.
I clean the garage. You can find it. It's that thing that pokes me in the neck every time I pass by it.
See, he knows where it is.
Yeah, when you get nearly concussed every time you pass by, then you remember. Or not if you actually do. So anyways, we're going to be set up at Touchstone's open house. What the open house is kind of the opening ceremony for the upcoming season, which is really exciting.
Coming up.
I won an educational endowment scholarship from Snag. I was clearing house at Snag, y'all. I said, that brooch, winner, chicken dinner, y'all. Don't go up against my brooch. The many faces.
The brooch of many faces.
It is. That's what it's called. It's called Many Faces. Anyway, so I won that, and I'm going to be going to a Harlan but he's doing a workshop on cloisonne enamel. He's an amazing enamelist that was trained in Japan. You should definitely follow him on the or I don't know if he's on Instagram, maybe on Facebook. But he does a lot of really cool posts with the national parks, which I didn't even know that was a possibility, but somehow he works with the national parks and does artwork with them. So that's pretty cool. And then I'm going to take a workshop from Tanya Crane. I got a seat by being one of the Acre Partners cohort. So
All a touchstone, which we'll be at this Saturday. If you'd like to come down for the open house. What time is it?
I don't know.
All day. Just come on down.
Yeah. We probably will need people to come down and help because I have a foreseeing that I'll be like weak from the heat. So you should come down and relieve me of the weakness from the heat because you don't want me to like pass out and end up on the news. Tent. I know, but we need people because if people don't come out and act like they like me, and then you can buy my stuff, but if you want to pretend to buy my stuff at the table while the photographer comes around, that can work.
What are you going to have at the table?
Well, it's a mystery because I need to make it.
It's all a mystery.
So hopefully.
So there will be things for sale from Andrew at the table.
Becca said it's a thing, heat weakness. Usually it's called, what is it called? Heat stroke?
Heat stroke. That's the bad time.
Yeah, I don't want that. I've had that before. It's not a flattering thing either because you're like dry heaving. Out in the sun much. So, yeah. I mean, like, can we go in the shady part? But one where I'm not going to get the tent covered in bird poop.
The tent can have bird poop as long as we're in the shade. I don't care.
Wow. I would like.
I've been under a tent and got burned to a crisp before. So, are these paid rules? Will you pay airfare too?
Oh no, I'm sorry, Terry.
Is there a charge for the open house?
No, it's free.
It's free.
That's free.
That's free. It's a free event.
There's free music. You can go into all the studios. I haven't talked to them yet, but I may go in the studio and then be like, here's how you do this thing. But I don't know.
You're going to demo, leave me all by myself to sell your wares?
Yeah, you probably do better selling than me. I'll be like, well, you like it, so you should just take that. And then he was like, the mortgage doesn't work like that.
No,
so
they don't let us just live in the house for free.
Wendy says they would, but they live in California. What is this? What's this? Invested? I see something. I just invested in ice vest. If you were closer, I'd let you borrow it.
Never heard of an ice vest.
It's to keep you cool in the heat.
That's nice.
So you don't pass
I probably
out.
need that.
Cynthia gave me some kind of witchcraft kind of cloth that you like dunk in the water and then it like makes you cold. I don't know anything about it because it hasn't been hot.
Becca says, where is this again? It's at Touchstone Center for Crafts in Farmington, Pennsylvania, about an hour south of us.
Yeah, bring the kids too.
Bring them all down.
Because they have a teen week.
They do.
So that might be of interest. I think your daughter's too old now, but
she's still a teen.
I don't know. Didn't she graduate?
That's
or is
only
that
18.
Next year?
Still a teen.
17. They
can't
have the
17.
adult to the children, you know.
Oh. That's a misnomer. Teen week then.
Well, teen not adult, so that for liabilities. Terry says, I am in Wisconsin. That's not that far. That's like 9 hours, 8-9 hours, depending on what part of Wisconsin you are.
We've driven there before.
I did it. You can do it too. And aren't you in Madison, Wisconsin, if I'm remembering correctly? Just leave really late at night. Then there's no traffic in Chicago.
Evaporating cloths. Those cloths are really work, says Janice.
Cynthia said,
they're nice.
Bring the cloth and put it on the back of your neck. So that's so you won't see me dry heaving in the bushes.
Andrew does not deal well with the heat anymore.
I know. I've been ruined. And we don't really do outdoor things very often. So hopefully you all will come out and support it if you're nearby.
We've considered doing some outdoor things for the store. we're thinking about it because
What,
our
the market?
neighbors, no, just our store and the local stores
Oh,
with
in the
us
backyard?
in the backyard. So
We
we'll
used to
see.
do
We'll see if people
that.
want to do things outside anymore.
We used to have the book club. What is it? Some kind of meetup in the backyard at the other store, but it was out on a hill in the other store, so it was
This
kind
is
of
flat
hilarious.
now.
Barbara said that's a great visual. Well, it's the truth telling. You know,
He is a truth teller.
you know that I was like stay because I spoke at Snag, and I was like, Stacy, do you know what you've gotten yourself into?
She did not.
No, but everybody seemed to like it, you know. So they said they liked it at least.
Yeah, no bad scores.
Mm-hmm.
No thumbs down.
I didn't see that yet, but you know what? There's always one in the group. So I saw somebody leave their paper on the chair, so I should have fingerprinted it and then been like, I know what you did. You didn't like my speech. No, I thought it was good. I'm already planning for next year.
Good night, Barbara. Thank you for coming and joining us today.
Yeah, thanks for hanging out.
Oh, it looks like it's going to storm here soon.
Yeah, I can feel it in my face hole.
I know. We better go. I don't know if I put the windows up.
Janice says what Cynthia said, and when it starts to get warm, dunk it in water again and wring it out. Okay, I'll try it.
I may need it.
I'll go inside too. I know where they have the air conditioning. So I'll be like, I've got to go check on something. Very official board member stuff.
Huh.
And
meanwhile, me, sun averse, is standing out in the heat.
You can bring your sombrero.
My sombrero.
Yeah. So hopefully people buy stuff too, because I think they're using this as a metric for how well the cohort thing is doing. So if we don't sell a lot of stuff, then I'm going to be like, I'm going to look bad, and then they're going to oust me, and then I'm not going to go get to see Tanya Crane's class. So,
what are your price points going to be?
I don't know. It's cheap to not cheap?
Cheap to not cheap.
I'm going to do like a little smattering of stuff. I haven't done a show in a long time. So sometime this week I'm going to do a dry run. And then I'm going to try to fit it in, you know, so that you know you can see. I don't know if they're doing tables. I should ask if they're bringing.
If we need to bring a table.
We have some folding tables. One has really sharp corners, so I'll put that on your side.
Why are you trying to hurt me?
I'm not. I'm just trying not to hurt myself because
he's gonna leave me out. Gonna leave me out in the weather while he gets some air conditioning. He's gonna take all the cool cloths. And he's gonna give me the sharp table edges.
Well,
I don't know why I'm going.
You have to go. You have to be supportive of your husband. What did Terry say? Both you and Cynthia are fantastic storytellers, and you can. What is it?
Where'd it go?
And you can get to the point, but with a dash of embellishments. You know, I don't know if I can ever get to the point. The landing of the plane is not my strong point. But you know, eventually, sometimes I get there. Sometime. So come out and visit us at Touchdown this weekend on Saturday. There's going to be live music. There's going to be puppets. There's going to be all kinds of stuff.
And if you're in Pittsburgh on Friday.
I don't know if that's still happening. I have to, tomorrow I find out. Because it was kind of last minute that they asked me to teach the class. And I don't know if anybody signed up.
No signups at all?
I don't know yet. But if nobody signed up, then I'm not going to be teaching on Friday. But if they did get some signups, I need at least 3 signups, then I'll be teaching. So I need to know that information because I have to go and like scour down epoxy sculpt in southwestern Pennsylvania. Maybe we'll just order it now anyways, just in case.
It is kind of hard to sell a class when you kind of did a free version before
the week before. But I think it'll be cool.
It's not a 3-hour version.
No.
With beer.
I know. You can not get too wild because I can't be responsible for shepherding people. I'd be like, William.
Again? Me? Gotta be the security guard.
Rough them up, William. No. They're definitely not going to ask me back to teach.
Right.
They're going to be like, oh. Suzanne says maybe 1 year. Janice says true love. Correct.
Kim says, can you talk about your collaborative crow paintings a little bit?
Oh, yeah, because I need to make money still. Yeah, so I, generally speaking, whenever we do any kind of anything, I will try to make a series of crow paintings. And that's, I think of crows as messengers. And sometimes people don't like crows because they, sometimes the messages that they deliver are not ones that people like. So they get a bad rap, you know? They're like, oh, that's a bad omen. But you know, crows are super smart. And I also feel as though they fly between what is known and what is unknown. Mysterious. And so I do a series of crow paintings before we ever do any kind of event so that we can have extra money to do whatever we need to do. And I feel like it's a really good thing when my artwork can help fund things that we're doing, you know, creatively. So that the money is also, if it's something that benefits me directly, I feel a little bit guilty taking money out from the store to pay for my things. So, you know, which, you know, that may be weird, but I just think it's a good business practice not to bankrupt the other business by doing stuff, you know. So the crow paintings, I think, will help fund. We got back from Snag, so I can't buy stuff from the Snag people anymore. So, but we did spend a lot of money going out there, and we did spend a lot of money for lodging. So thankfully, everybody bought or we sold out of our mystery boxes, which helped offset some of the costs, but we'll probably be paying this off for a while. So the crow paintings will help, you know, make us not so poor. And then also, this is the first time I've done a collaborative project. Generally, I like to make what I like to make, and then you all just have to either like it or not like it. But this time, I'm going to bend that rule slightly. So if there's a particular color of a background that you're interested in, or if you have some embellishment ideas, then I will take them under consideration.
Yeah, the photo that's in the listing for the collaborative crow painting shows some of the ones he's done in the past and the way he's adorned the crows in the past and with the background. So if you want to change the background to a specific color that you're interested in, if you want to adorn the crow with something different, then you can list that in the notes section of your order. And you can't get too wild. You can't have like, you know, 80 things that you want adorning the crow.
Because I'll pick one.
You'll pick one. But if you list the things you'd like to see, Andrew will make them into a painting for you.
Also, I should mention, this is not a go back and forth thing because this has to be relatively quick and is probably why I don't do a lot of custom work.
You get one chance to tell them what you want.
And that's in the notes in the sale section because I've had things where I've made stuff for customers and they're like, oh, I wanted this one to be here instead of here and this one to be here. And it takes a lot longer than I originally planned. And that is sometimes problematic. So,
and remember, it's a collaboration. So you are going to give your input. Andrew is going to make it. And you do not get to, you know, approve the final. You get the final.
This isn't a commission. This is
Right.
a collaboration. So hopefully that didn't make people be like, oh, well, I'm not going to do it now. But it makes sense, right?
Yeah.
You know, you don't want me to go crazy. So
the point is not to drive Andrew crazy.
Yeah.
Crazier. You have a lot of crazy going on this week.
Oh, well, just this week. No, there's a lot of stuff going on. I wouldn't say it's crazy. Crazy. Kim said, thank you. Well, hopefully people will enjoy that and take advantage of it. I know some people are like, I don't like crows. Can you paint a different bird? Maybe. I just am so, I just feel like that's a part of the series and plays into my work. So you can ask for it, but I don't know if that's actually going to happen. But maybe, you never know.
So anything else before we go?
I don't know. I could talk for a long time.
Well, I can't anymore. I've been talking for 2 hours.
He's gonna edging out. Going in. I have like this scoop neck on, which keeps getting deeper and deeper. So eventually, I'm gonna be having stuff hanging out, and
you'll just flapping in the wind over
I
here.
know, and so that. Maybe it's good that I'm sitting down low because it started off and it was like a regular V-neck, and then by this afternoon it's like
drifting.
Like I'm like, I didn't know that they have the man cleavage, but here you go. And it's not like where I'm working out either. So, we got the professional photographs done, and I was like, maybe I should start trying to look after my health. And then also get better looking pants. I was like, this one looks like I have a saggy diaper on. I was like, boy, throw that in the fire. But they're the only ones that fit because I put on weight during COVID. So
go work out with me. I started working out a little bit.
I don't know. Maybe I'll walk around the block.
30 minutes a day. 30 minutes a day, every other day.
Catch some Pokemon. Janice says, we have 4 bird feeders in the backyard. I love watching the wild birds. Well, I did a
Harry
series.
Does that too.
I did a series of bird paintings on hearts. So I got like all the birds y'all could ever want.
There's still some of those hearts available.
Are there?
Mm-hmm.
So people didn't like them. I guess not. I did make one that didn't make it in there because I was going to finish the other 4. I guess bird paintings, y'all are tired of them, so just throw them in the fire.
Throw all your tools in the fire.
You drunk? Here, did you sip on that rubbing alcohol and get wild in your mind?
You don't have any to throw in the fire. You didn't make them yet.
I started some. You didn't know that, did you? People be like, what am I watching?
I know. People think I actually know what goes on here.
No, it's a secret.
It's all a secret.
This in the background looking janky time.
Nobody can see that.
I could see it.
I couldn't see it when they were in front.
Oh, you were in the way.
Mm-hmm.
So, how is everybody doing? I didn't get to see you all. No, don't turn it off yet.
I'm getting a headache.
Go drink something. I want to talk to my friends.
Okay, I'm gonna go.
No, can't leave forever. They're like, bye.
Bye.
No. Susan said, one of my friends has a live camera placed near her bird feeder. It's on YouTube. Lots of fascinating critters. We used to have, when we lived in the apartment out in Bolivar, we had all of these elaborate bird feeders on our deck. And it was like wild America because there was birds all over, and they would like, it made me not like blue jays as much because I saw what bullies they are.
They are bullies.
But I do like them.
And then the bear came up on the deck, and
pulled it down and ate from the bird feeder like a.
It climbed to the second story where we were. The bear went up the stairs to eat the bird seeds.
But apparently it was cute. It sat down on its butt. I didn't see it because I was at work. But it sat down on its butt and pulled the feeder down and was eating it like a bag of potato chips. And then they said that it got startled and ran down the stairs and was going in the woods. But then it remembered the bird feeder and then went back up and grabbed the thing. And I was like, how did that get in? I don't know. I guess it was in its mouth and it went down.
Barbara says, I want a painting. If you'd like a crow painting, a collaborative crow painting, they're on the website, allegorygallery.com. They should be at the near the top of the page. I haven't moved them. I think they're $75, and you can write in the notes what you would like the crow to be adorned with and the background color you'd like.
She already picked out what she wants, with a crown holding a gem in its beak. Well, there you go. I can do that. What
Send
color
in the
gem
order.
you want?
Send in the order.
I'll make it nice. I'll try hard. Yeah, hopefully people will like that. I only opened it up for, I think, 12.
I think so.
And because I always like to do a series of like 12. And so I think 2
So once
sold.
they sell out, they're gone. No more spots.
And I realized that I'm like bleeding y'all dry. We did Kidapalooza, the mystery boxes, and custom crows. But, you know, I'm going to shake the money tree somehow.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they have a thing called the Repo Man. And they're going to come and take our house. So hopefully we'll avoid that nonsense.
Yeah, let's avoid that.
Yeah, because then just imagine it. Imagine me getting in a fight with somebody. It would be like, where's my flip-flop to defend myself? So you don't want to see that on the evening news. Or do you? I don't. I'm trying to be professional now. I know. The people at Touchstone, they're going to be like, oh my goodness. Oh my gosh, what did we get ourselves into? Yeah, during the speech, I worked in one poop reference for Sarah.
You did.
I had to, but it was a true story. My mom used to say that I had diarrhea of the mouth, which meant I just would talk and talk and talk. And she was like, oh my God, you have the diarrhea of the mouth. And so I had to bring that up in the speech because
He definitely did.
in front of a couple hundred of my favorite metalsmiths, I had to share that. But you know what? My Instagram numbers went way up after.
That's good.
I got like 20 new follows and no death threats.
No.
So,
He also did plug his Instagram right on the podium.
of course, I'm not slow. I'm not saying anything bad about my fellow presenters, but they definitely didn't plug their business. And I was like, wow.
That's what I'm here for.
When nobody talks to you, we know why. They don't know where you live. Marianne says, there is more than enough violence in the world, so no hitting with a flip-flop. You know, it's an art. And I am an artist, so I can't deny my true cultural heritage in that way for long. But people seem to like it. I don't know if there's going to be a recording of it, and if there is, I don't know if I'm allowed to share it because, you know, people paid to come. And also, I made people do stuff, so it's a little bit different than some of the other presentations. Like some of the other presentations were more symposium style, and me, I was like, you know what, we've been having this all weekend long, so let's do something different. I already started planning writing my next speech, and I started thinking about making a fake podcast. I told William all about this on the way home from Providence. I was like, what if I did, I'm going to disappear for a second. Welcome to the Hour of Power. So if you hear somebody sounding like that, it's me.
He's going to be the host. He's going to be the callers.
I know. I was practicing voices.
All his different voices.
And William loved it. He was so excited about this idea.
Sometimes when Andrew drives, he free associates.
I know. I have to keep my brain occupied somehow besides not running into another car. So I was like, 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the Hour of Power. And today's guest is William Jones. What motivational thing do you have for Motivational Monday?
This is what I dealt with on the ride home. 1, 2, 3, power.
1, 2, 3, power. Who's in it with me? Let's all do it together. 1, 2, 3. 3, power. So you have to do off camera because y'all just think that there's something different as the numbers drop. You're like, I'm not in it for the. I'm not in it to win. Apparently, they're not in it to win
it. They're not in it to win it.
No, they're like, I've been here for 2 hours. I got to go to the bathroom.
Like me.
I think they call that a captive audience. It's hard to escape a 70-mile-per-hour vehicle on the freeway. Correct. Which is why that's a good time to have that
to test out all of his new things,
my
his new
voices.
ideas.
I said, listen to this voice, and then, but I'm not really in the mood to do voices today. So, you know who's really good at voices? Cynthia. Did you watch her reels where she made her creature talk?
Those were good.
When it was talking about how it's hungry for the moss. That's pretty cute. Fran says, you cracked me up. Marion is rolling on the floor laughing. And then Norma is, wow, Andrew, those voices are amazing. Well, I try hard to excel at whatever I do. And hopefully we will get, those people who speak and then they get invited to conferences. I could do like a whole shadow puppet thing where we will dress William up. And it could be like performative artwork where he does like, to my talk.
This is all new to me.
I've been thinking about it. We're going to seriously approach this in a way. Maybe I'll get all the GBE people. They can be flowers that bloom. We can talk about our success stories and our generational trauma in an effort to heal ourselves. Because when you heal yourself, you heal others. See, I see, that's pretty good, right? I should write a book. It's called The Hour of Power.
By Andrew Thornton.
Or the made-up name, right? Because sometimes people don't expect that from me. So here you go. Bonnie says, write your own cartoon and draw the characters. I'm not really a cartoon character drawer, but you know who is? Greg is. He had his own cartoon, and he even pitched it to a network, which is neat.
Very neat.
Terry says, William, is it like this all day, every day?
It just depends how much energy Andrew has and how much coffee he's had for the day.
Correct. Usually more it's like this. But I don't want to practice that because
don't practice that.
Because then you have to get the shots in the face.
The
Marion,
Botox.
It doesn't have to be brand name. It can be
You're gonna get the generic.
It can be whatever flavor. This one person was talking to me, and I think he thought we were a lot younger than him. And so he was like talking stuff, and I was like, dude, I'm old enough to be your dad.
Maybe not quite. Maybe.
I don't know. I'm getting there. I don't know actually how old he is, so maybe not the life giver of him, but still close enough. But that was one thing. Like somebody was like, "Are you calling me old?" I was like, "I'm older than you, so let's not go there, childling." Like one was in college, and I was like, college was a long time.
We didn't hang out with a lot of younger people,
which was nice. I guess they thought that we were cool enough. I guess.
Yeah, that's nice. That's a good feeling.
Or they wanted to see how far they could milk the cow and how we could get them ahead in their career, which is fine too. I don't think so. No, they're actually genuinely nice. So if you're watching this, I like you. Well, if I didn't,
I liked all the people we hung out with. Yeah, we wouldn't have hung out with them if we didn't like them.
That's when you just get up and leave the table. Somebody did that, and I was
like, be on your way then.
I was like, bye, see you. You forgot your drink. You don't want anybody to clean that up for you, do you? I did do that.
Andrew does shame people sometimes.
Sometimes
shame.
I did. I rolled down the window. This car was driving terrible, so I had to inform them of this. So I rolled down the window, and I was shame, shame, shame. And they probably thought it was some big burly dude because I was using the deep voice. I was thinking and seriously considering drinking the whiskey now so that I can make that deep voice. Oh, somebody bought something, so this is working. It's like,
is that the crow painting?
Is it? Yeah.
Is that Barbara?
I don't know. Maybe. Oh, Susan's like, bye, Felicia.
Right?
No. Order is placed. Thank you, Barbara. I appreciate it. And so, yeah, so.
I had to do that too. My husband gets so embarrassed.
Well, it's a family thing. Cynthia, when we're driving around, we were in a parking lot.
They have a whole different vocabulary when they're driving.
Well, Sheila, too. She's the worst of us, and you wouldn't even think about that. Because she's so like mellow and chill, and then she gets behind the wheel, and then you're like, who is this? But Cynthia, when we were in this parking lot in Asheville, she rolled down the window and she says, put your foot on the gas. Use the gas to go forward. And she was like giving instructional help for these people who apparently just stopped randomly. So that happens. And this is also why I didn't ride with Sharon Massey, who offered to drive, because I was like, you're going to have a new experience of who I am. And
too much too soon.
I know. I
have to break in Andrew sometimes.
Yeah, but you know what? This one lady, she really liked it. She actually looked for us and sat down with us again after we had the most weirdest conversation.
It's true.
That I've had in a long time. But she was like, okay, I see you and appreciate your weirdness. So then we had another weird conversation.
It's good when you find weird. I like weird people.
Yeah, it was like you could not have followed. Like if you tried to build a chart of that conversation, it was like ding, 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 ding,
no,
ding.
You couldn't.
It was like, have you ever eaten human flesh? And it was like, you know, and then it's like, and then Stephen King, he wrote an essay about that, and he guess he got a fan letter called "Ever Eat." Maybe it was man meat or something like that. And he wrote this book about all the letters that he's gotten over the years, and was like writing advice for people trying to start out. I don't know either, because I read this maybe like in the 90s.
And it came up in a conversation.
I know. You never know when you have to pull something from...
Reading is good for you folks.
Yeah, you're going to read something about eating human flesh, and then somehow it's going to become relevant.
It's going to work into your career later.
I know.
It's going to get you ahead later.
I think it will. I'm serious. I think that was like...
cinched the deal.
Yeah, because sometimes people are like, they put on airs. Like we saw this weekend too. Like some people were trying really hard to be like
a certain way.
Like I'm professional, and they kept like dropping their CV in their conversation. I was like, nobody cares about that. But have you ever ate human flesh? That
people remember like, that.
Yeah, I already got an email back about not about weird stuff, but about like
business.
Yeah. So sometimes the best business advice is not to be too self-promoting, you know, because nobody wants to be like that. Like you feel like a ladder and like somebody's gonna climb you, but not like in a delightful way, but like in a less than delightful way. And the numbers keep dropping.
Don't look at people like ladders.
No, look at them like your weird friend. Yeah, we neither of us ate human flesh, so
it was okay.
Though I will say,
it started with what, a thought experiment about what would you could you be a cannibal if you had to, or something like that.
I think it was also a conversation about weird conversations.
Yeah.
And then
it was a meta conversation.
So it was a conversation about a book about a conversation. So try to follow
very
that.
Meta.
And then we also talked about something where we were like, and this movie scarred me for life. And then we did this whole list of movies that traumatized us.
He did.
And then I was like, and then she was like, well, I need to send some to my mom to get back for the time when she made me watch the Sexy Time movies with her and my aunt. And so I was like, well, have you heard of this one? And then this one, and then this one. And then it went on. And then somebody was like, well, I have like a business question to talk about. And then we're like, no.
No.
What movies traumatized you as a child?
Let's not talk about traumatizing movies.
Unless you're trying to make friends and connections with people who appreciate that.
Right.
I mean, there are things that leave a mark, and sometimes that's a good thing to build relationships on with people you don't know.
Make that mark.
Susan says, what body part is the most recommended? You know, I read a book once.
Oh boy. Here we go.
He's like, here we go.
Here we go. You had to ask, didn't you, Susan?
And it was by Thomas Harris called, was it Red Dragon or Hannibal or one of those? Anyways, and he was like talking about which one tastes the best. So I guess it's like other things, you know. He went to get the sweetbreads, which is not
the dark meat and the light meat.
I get does that mean that all of me is dark meat because I'm brown?
No, that's not how it works.
Or is it just darker meat? See, this is the weird, like people like they're like, oh my gosh, where's my pearls?
I know, clutch those pearls.
But this is what it's like to be inside my brain. Bonnie Francis says, do you remember the movie Joe Dirt when he's in the pit?
I don't know that movie.
No, I don't remember that, but I can look it up. But sometimes and then probably sometime around midnight tonight, it will come to me. And then sometimes that happens. Like it just comes to me, these random little things.
It does.
Terry says, we all bleed red. I am certain inside we are all vastly similar. You know, maybe. I don't know.
Just like chickens.
Is it?
They have light meat and dark meat. They're all similar.
I don't know.
Bodies are similar.
I don't know.
It's just muscle.
Yeah, it's all muscle here. There's no fat at all. Just 100% muscle. Oh. He puts the lotion on the skin. That's Silence of the Lambs, isn't it? That scarred me for life, yo.
I've never seen that.
And you won't be watching that with me.
I've never seen most like those horror films. I never watched. I never was into it, and they didn't scare me really. I just wasn't into that genre, and so there's a lot that I've never seen.
Like Seven.
Never saw that. Never saw Silence of the Lambs. What's the one with those twin girls?
The Shining.
The Shining. Never saw that.
That's based on a Diane Arbus photograph. Did you know that? And a Stephen King book. And that's actually a real hotel. Did you know that? In Colorado. Marion says, considering how many people I know are somehow related, we are all the same. I guess. I wonder how much metal dust is like floating around in my blood.
We're all biologically similar. We come from the same stuff.
I know, but they would like bite my arm and then be like, ooh, it tastes coppery like a penny, like a dirty penny. Because I do a lot of metal smithing. So Terry says, if you get old, you'll be stew meat. Younger is always more tender. You know, I read an essay about that. It was by Jonathan Swift. It was called A Modest Proposal, which was my introduction to satire. But you know, I have a really good coq au vin recipe that we can no longer eat. What's the other one? The beef
beef bourguignon. That's just beef bourguignon. You do a good one of those. Used to anyway.
Now what are you gonna do? Mushroom bourguignon? What is it? Mushroom?
But that's like coq au vin. The reason they did it, and most people use chickens now, but it used to be the rooster,
the
old rooster, and you put it in the wine to loosen up the toughness,
fiber.
the tough fibers.
You know, though, I did see a vegetarian-ish recipe for that. It was from a region where they didn't have a lot of meat, so they used the eggs, chicken eggs. And I could be making this up, but I remember seeing it and I was like, this is just basically coq au vin, but with eggs instead. So
that's weird.
Yeah, I haven't tried it yet.
Maybe we will.
Maybe.
I'm hungry now.
Not tonight, because that business takes like 6 hours.
Yeah.
So
what are we gonna eat tonight?
I don't know. What are you all eating out there?
We already talked about food at the beginning of this video.
I didn't see it because I was in the
and
meeting.
I wasn't as hungry now, and now I'm hungry 2 hours later, 2.5 hours later.
You hear the growling through the...
It is. It's starting to.
And it's like, whoa,
I know. And I'm hunched over. If I sit up, it's going to start in there.
Well, maybe they've had enough of us.
Maybe pizza from our friends.
We just ordered pizza and salad. I need food ideas. I need some food ideas. Or we could make I could make something.
What?
We have those sausages, and I can make like a red sauce from it. And I kind of, I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Pasta would be good.
We were basically starving ourselves at the convention during the day.
And then we eat well at night.
And then we went to this...
I'm getting a headache.
Okay, well, we went to this really good Middle Eastern place. It was called Eastside Pockets. Holy Baba Ganesh, it was delicious.
They need one of those here.
In my house, and then I'll eat it.
You got this giant, like, takeout, you know, the square takeout containers, how big that it was, full for like $9.
It was good. I didn't know Impossible Chicken made...
I think we had their nuggets once, but they're hard to find here, the nuggets.
Yeah, there's another kind.
We use the
Quorn or whatever.
Corn, Quorn. They're made with mycelial mushroom stuff.
But I think they make my heart go fast. So...
They have a lot of salt, I think.
Oh, so that could be why. But they do taste good. If he has a headache. We don't have any water here at the cottage.
I know, we have nothing here. And I've been sitting in one position too long for my jittery self.
Well, thank you so much for all of your support. I also wanted to thank all of you who allowed us and empowered us to go to the Snag conference. Without all of your support, we would not be able to do that. And considering that I had agreed to speak, that was super important.
We could do it.
I don't think they're having one next year, but I'm going to try to peer pressure them. And I also had a good idea for them to pair with the universities. So
send your idea on.
I was like, why are we paying all this money for all these convention centers when all these universities have spaces, maybe for cheap or for free, you know? Because they were talking about some of the old-timey snags, because it was their 50th year. Apparently something, what was 50 years ago? 1972?
Can't do the math right now.
I think it's 1972. Apparently a lot of people had good ideas in 1972 because Snag was formed, Contemporary Craft was formed, Touchstone was formed. But so there's all these like, Disney World was formed. We should get funding from Disney World, y'all. Creative entrepreneurs unite. But anyway, so yes, thank you so much for all that you do for us and for helping build this community. We are stronger together, and I'd like to think that we lift each other up. Hopefully you all enjoyed our live presentations. And somebody's like, do you do a lot of public speaking? And I was like, no, but I talk on the internet.
A lot.
No, I don't. He does. All right. So thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody.
Hopefully, y'all go to the website, find some good things.
There's lots of good stuff. Remember, there's like thousands of things. So when you look on the homepage, that's not it. There's lots of stuff. Use the search bar or go into each collection and you'll see lots more. Because there are thousands of things on the website, not just what's on the homepage.
Yeah, we thought about doing this website that only had like 3 things on it. Because like sometimes, you go to the Instagram and you go to their website and they have like 3 things. And then somehow they're like going off to Milan to go skinny dip in some rich person's pool. And you're like, how do they afford this business? They only have 3 things on their website. So we thought we were going to do that. And then we're like, well,
no.
I like to have things and choices. So
yeah. So now we're just loading it up.
Loading it up. Hopefully I'll like it. Otherwise we're out of work. So
have to get other jobs.
I know. And who's gonna hire me with the diarrhea of the mouth? Maybe I could be the Hour of Power dude.
There you go. Start your podcast.
I know. Well, I'll find some dude at a bar around here, that looks a little bit. Or maybe, do you think the Hour of Power person would be like worked out? Or do you think it would be somebody who's like some average white dude with a mullet? Because sometimes you look up the people who do the radio voices and you're like, whoa, that's different. You have like a picture in your mind and then
they never look like you think.
Well, I remember in the 90s before the internet and like I would listen to the radio all the time. And so I had these images of my mind of what these people look like. And they didn't really have like websites with their profiles and stuff. Nowadays with social media, like you feel like you see everybody's face all the time. I'm actually in this club about social media and they're like, you have to show your face. And I was like, luckily I got professional photos taken so I can plug those in.
There you go.
I know, but my skin does look relatively clear today. So
from not eating any good snacks.
I know, starvation and like not drinking any water, so I don't have any water.
It's not the Red Bull anymore.
I don't have that little plumpness to my face.
Okay, we gotta go. It's gonna rain.
There's like time to move the patio furniture. Winds are 65 miles an hour, and there's hail. Okay, bye. Marian says voices and actual bodies often do not match one's perception. One thing I will say, and this is William's probably like, I am not interested in hearing this, but if you do look at people's faces, you can actually see how their voices are made. Like you can, like, I don't know if that makes sense, but there are certain visual structures in people's faces that, like the resonance chambers and their sinuses. And if you think about it, you can sometimes, figure out what somebody looks like before you see them. But I didn't know that as like a child. So I was like, how come that person looks like that? So anyway. All right. Well, thank you so much. I really enjoyed spending some time with you. I'll see you tomorrow afternoon. Let me know what kind of things you're interested in talking about tomorrow. Otherwise, it's going to be Hour of Power, and you may not enjoy that. So let me know what you're interested in, and we'll try to do it. I don't really know what I'm going to do. I know I have these ideas for art pieces that I want to make. At one point during the convention, and I kind of felt a little bit socially awkward, like more than usual. And I kind of like became a wallflower. So I want to do a piece that is like a wallflower piece with me and one of my self-portraits. So I think I'm going to do that as one of my pieces. And then I also had this idea for a vessel that I wanted to create. So I'm going to raise a vessel, which means take a flat sheet and make it not flat. And that's different than sinking. So if you sink it, you kind of like hammer it into a form, which the metal sinks. And raising is you use like a stake and you make like a base that way. But I was thinking about doing some silhouettes of like iconography of me and my portraits because I'm kind of on this self-portrait kick. But then also I'm like, this is basically not for sale because who wants a portrait of me besides like William? Even my family, my parents would be like, you can keep it. I remember I did this self-portrait once and I was like, here mama, this is for you. And she's like, I don't want it. And so
Generational trauma.
I know. I was like, that's okay. And it's like, I don't want it either then. And
I
then
kept your paintings of yourself.
I know, where is it?
I have
Is
like
it,
3 of them in my room.
is it in the garbage now?
No, I have 3 of them in my room hanging up.
Well,
set
that's
around.
that's because I think he likes me, so that's good. But like, who else? Like one time we gave away some of my portraits, like my self-portrait. I was like, who's gonna want this? They're like, so you can see me like. Anyways, so I better come up with some other ideas. I think I'm gonna do my fantastic critters for Saturday. So maybe there'll be like a face and some dingle dangles, whatever I can make very quickly. Bonnie says, no, I would love it. Terry says, for the wallflower, double-sided might be nice. Wallflower on one side, not wallflower on the other. Maybe. I had an idea of just having a piece that hung on the wall. So you'll have to make one and then show me what you think, and then I'll make mine, and then we'll compare and contrast. I also thought that it might be nice to do a swap because I really enjoyed the pin swap. So maybe we'll try to organize something where we can all swap things. Because I had a lot of fun doing that. So we'll see. Maybe we'll do a bead swap. But do people already do that? I feel as though they did it in the past, but I don't know if they still do it. But maybe we'll do some things so that people make some beads or something and swap, or maybe earring swaps. But I don't wear earrings, so maybe we'll do pendant swap. Pendant swap. That sound good? So we'll see. If you all like that idea, we could swap. Terry says we could all swap earrings we make so you can hang them on your earring tree. I haven't put my earring tree up yet though, so I need to do that. I think I want to put a sturdier base on it because the earring trees that I had, sometimes it would fall over and then was not, delightful because I had to like clean up. But yeah, so if you're interested in some kind of swap, leave a comment that you're interested in the swap and maybe we'll get something going. Otherwise, just check your email. If you haven't signed up for our newsletter yet, please do, because that's one of the main ways that we connect with people. We do a lot of on Facebook, but definitely on the internet. Let me show you the website. It's allegorygallery.com. Hopefully you are already signed up for our newsletter. And then eventually we'll do some more content for YouTube, but I've been busy. So, all right. Well, thank you so much again. And we'll see y'all later.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
See ya.